Hello and welcome back to my channel again. I hope you all have had a wonderful time or a wonderful week ahead of you. Now today's video is basically a follow-on from my last video. Now, as I said in that video, that it's going to have to be a two-part video because you have the online version and then you have the face-to-face version. Now, if you haven't seen that video, I'm going to be leaving the card somewhere on the screen, so please click on it and go back and watch it. If you are about to do a face-to-face interview, then you'll benefit from that. If you're looking to do an online video, an online interview, you'll be able to benefit from this. Now, what are the things that you need to be aware of or that's expected of you when you are going for an online teaching interview in the UK? Now, the first thing, as I always say, is excuse me. The first thing, as I always say, is prepare your lesson plan. Okay, prepare your lesson plan or your lesson notes and type this up neatly. There are lots of lesson plan formats that you can find online. They might provide you with one, or they might say just send us a lesson plan. So this is your duty to go online, find a lesson plan that you think will work well for your lesson. Prepare your lesson plan, type it up, and then email it to them. Now, this is one difference because between the online and the face-to-face. If it is face-to-face, you can hand it to them on the day, or you can email it to them ahead of time and then still hand it to them on the day. But because this is going to be online, so I would say email it to them maybe 2-3 days before the interview so they can go through it and look at it and then prepare their questions, or if they need to ask you any questions. So prepare your lesson plan and then email it to them. Now, I'm looking down again. I've got my notes there to keep you on track so I don't forget what it is I need to say. Now, after you've prepared your lesson plan, this is the first thing first before the interview day anyway, prepare your lesson plan and then send it to them. Now, the second and most important thing that you need to do is on the day, okay? So make sure that you have good internet connection. I don't know how to stress this enough. Now, it depends on where in the world you'll be doing this interview from, okay? Ensure that you have good internet connection. Now, sometimes I've been in Nigeria and I'm trying to have meetings or stuff, and the internet has been frustrating because it is glitching. It's been frustrating, and I know the embarrassment that it's cost me several times. So I would say, because this is an interview, I mean, this is an opportunity for you to shine, an opportunity for you to stand out. The last thing you want to do is to be battling with an internet connection. So if you're in Nigeria, for instance, if you've got a home Wi-Fi or if you're buying data, make sure that you have enough. Make sure that you have enough data. This might be 30 minutes, it might be 1 hour. Ensure that you have enough data to be able to last you all through the interview. The last thing you want to do is for your data to finish halfway, then the interview gets stopped, then you have to then buy data and then connect on. By that time, you would have already lost them. So ensure that you have enough data ready for your interview. Now, again, find a place in your house where you know the internet connection is strong. If you know the internet connection is not strong in your house, then I would say go outside to where you know, maybe a shop, a business center, somewhere that you know the internet connection is going to be clear. You make pre-arrangement with the person and then you go there and do your interview. So you're going to have a smooth, effortless interview. So that'll be the number one thing to do first, because that can either make or break your interview. Now, wherever you are, depending on your home, outside, make sure that you have a neat, clear environment, okay, for your interview. A plain wall like this is fine. Some of you would have known I use my shelf as my background whenever I'm doing my videos. You can also do that. Make sure there's nothing behind it that will be a bit off-putting, okay? If you're in your bedroom, please make sure that you are not showing the head of your bed, okay? Your what do you call it? Your bed head, whatever it is, I've forgotten what it is called now. Make sure you're not showing that. Make sure you're not giving you, it's not obvious that you are in your bedroom, okay? Because it doesn't convey the right message that you're having an interview in your bedroom. So I would say, even if it's your bedroom, but stay in an angle where it is a clear, clean surface that they're seeing, a wall or something that they're seeing, or a background. If you know you've got frames or things hanging in your room that are going to be a little bit misconstrued or out of the ordinary, that don't look okay, take them away. But just have a clean, neat background for your videos. And then make sure that you have no interruptions. If you're going to be doing this interview in your home, then you can tell everyone in your house. So please make sure your noise level is down. If you need to send your kids somewhere at that time, because of course the children wouldn't know. I've had interviews several times or online meetings, and one in particular was I was having a meeting in the study, and my daughter, my little daughter, walks in straight into the camera, and she said, "Mommy, when are you going to be through with this laptop? You've been on this for a very long time." Oh my God, I couldn't wait for the ground to literally open. But thankfully, they understood, and everybody laughed and everybody smiled. But I wasn't expecting her to come in at that point in time. And what more, straight into the camera. And then she said, "When are you going to be through with this thing? You've been here for a very long time." So children, you can never predict. So if you need to take them away, maybe to a friend's house, or you need your husband or your partner or your sibling to look after them and make sure that they don't escape to come and interrupt your interview, that will be fantastic, okay? And then make sure you're in a place where it's not like a passage or where people will be going up and down. Maybe you're in the kitchen, and then where they will go past to go and get a cup of water. You don't want all of that interruptions, okay? So make sure that there are less interruptions where you are going to be having your interview, okay? Because you don't want to be explaining, "Oh, I'm very sorry," if it just doesn't come out right. Now, if you're going to be using an online platform, of course, because this is online anyway, you're going to maybe using Teams, or you're going to be using Zoom, or any other face-to-face platform, things that were not face-to-face, online platforms that have video sharing and things like that. Make sure that you understand the platform very well, okay? You don't want a situation whereby you log in on that day, you don't know how to turn on the mic, you don't know how to turn off the microphone, you don't know how to turn off the video. You don't want to start struggling with that on the day of an interview. So make sure, if you're not sure, they will tell you anyway ahead of time what it is. If it's going to be Teams, if it's going to be Zoom, they will tell you, or they will send you the link where you're going to log on with. So just have a look at what it is, and then go and study it, okay? You can do a demo practice, maybe with your husband or partner or friend or whoever, or wife. You can do a demo practice with them, just so you understand how to use the platform, so you're not struggling on the day. Now, of course, you're going to be teaching in the teaching interview, so you might also need to prepare a PowerPoint slide. I will say my own opinion, prepare a PowerPoint slide, okay? Because you don't want to be talking at people for a very long time with nothing to share. It can get a bit boring. So if you're going to be teaching children, I would say prepare a PowerPoint slide to go with your teaching. That's why I say it's important that you learn how to use whatever platform, because you can share your screens in any of this platform. You can share your screen on Teams, you can share your screen on Zoom, and any of the ones that are out there, I'm sure you could. So learn how to do this, so you can then share your, so they can see your PowerPoint slide. And some of them you can also see you have a small video of yourself going on there, as well as your huge PowerPoint slide. So learn whatever platform it is, so that you can share your screen, and then the children will be able to see what it is that you are talking about or teaching from. Now, be careful with your PowerPoint slide. Tailor your PowerPoint slide to the needs of the class that you'll be teaching. If it is a year 1 class, you know it's going to be less PowerPoint slide, more pictures and less wording. If it's going to be a year 6 class or a year 7 class, then you can go up to 8 PowerPoints, 9 PowerPoint slide. But again, not with too many text, okay? You don't want to have overpowering text in the PowerPoint slide that it gets too much. You can use bullet points, you can use pictures, you know, but don't be too jazzy, you know, too many things flying from this corner, from that end, too many colors, you know. Keep it simple, short and crisp, but effective, okay? So it doesn't become a distraction rather than an aid to help with your teaching. Now, as I said, keep it short, okay? You don't want to have too many of it and then it becomes too much. Now, log in early, okay? There is no African time. If you're African, and those of Africans that are on my channel, you know what I mean by African time, right? There is no African time in this, okay? If they wait for you for 5-10 minutes and you're not there, sadly, some people, that might be the end of your interview. So make sure you log on time. If I have any online meetings or things to do, I'm always there, sometimes 10 minutes early, 5 minutes early. If I know my meeting is for 10 o'clock, I try to log in 10 minutes to 10, or sometimes 5 minutes to 10. Now, because you are using technology sometimes can fail. You might have glitches, okay? So you don't want a situation whereby you're logging in at exactly 10 o'clock and that's the time that your touchpad refuses to work on your laptop, and then you start struggling with your, and who knows, by the time you get the touchpad sorted, it might be 10 minutes already into the time of your interview. So log in ahead of time. So if there are any glitches or problem, you can try and solve this before the time, okay? So I wouldn't log in at 10 o'clock and then I start struggling. Oh, where is my keyboard? Where's my mouse? That's time. And then you're already full of anxiety. And then you go into an interview, you're already stressed. And to be honest, you wouldn't do well in that situation, okay? So go in, log in on time and wait for them to join in, okay? And then you are relaxed and more calm, you know, and settled, rather than jumping in and then you're already rushed and everything. So I would say log on early and wait for them to log in. Now, again, teaching interview, you prepare an activity. So let's say, for instance, you'll be teaching a science lesson, okay? Now, don't say, oh, because this is online, I can't do an activity. You certainly can do an activity. It's just that you're not going to be there in person. So if, for instance, I'm teaching a science lesson and maybe I'm doing an experiment and I need certain things. Now, because I know I won't be there face to face, I would have already done my lesson plan. So I will know what it is I need. All you need to do is email the school ahead of time and say, oh, I'm going to be teaching a science lesson, as you may know, and I will need beakers, cups, this liquid, that. Please, can you arrange and organize these things for the lesson? If there are 30 children in your class, you might say, okay, I want them in groups of 6. So therefore, you need 5 groups of those things that you need. So say, please, can you arrange them in 5 groups? Because I'm going to have 6 groups and I need 5 groups of this in each. I need 5 groups because I need 1 per group, okay? So therefore, you get the school, because you're not there, so maybe the admin or the head, whoever gets your email, will prepare those things for you and keep them ready for the day of the interview. Now, when you get to your activity, you can, as part of your PowerPoint slide, maybe at the end of your PowerPoint slide, you can say, okay, you can then create a PowerPoint to do with the activity. Now, it is your turn to carry out the experiment. That could be one page of your PowerPoint. And then the next page, you might say, these are the instructions that you need. This is what you need. You might have these things on your table already. This is what you need to carry out your science experiment. And then give them instructions on the whiteboard, and the children will carry on with the thing. Now, don't forget the head teacher and somebody else might be there. So there will be people on ground. But I wouldn't say at that point for you to keep quiet and think, okay, since I'm not there, I can't do anything. You can, at this point, show your face. I'm sure you'll be able to see the children anyway, because it's an online interview and you're teaching, so you might be able to see the children. So what you can do is you can watch and watch certain children that are maybe certain children that are closer to the screen. You can then watch what they're doing and ask questions. Oh, Michael, I see that you put this and that first. Can you explain why? Or do you think that will work better than the other way? So though they're not seeing you, but they can hear you, okay? And when you call someone's name, if you don't know their name, you might say, this group finds something unique, or this group with the boy in yellow shirt, or the boy in blonde hair, or the boy in, find something that will make the group, for them to recognize that you're talking to them. And then you say, I noticed that you did this and this. Do you want to talk to me about it, or do you want to explain a bit about it? So even though you might be on the screen and it might be loud, but at least they know that you're talking to them and not to everybody else in the classroom. So perfectly, you've done your activity, even though you're not there. And for me, that shows me that you are very aware and that you know exactly what it is you're doing. Because yes, this is going to be a face-to-face thing, but I can see online, for me, you have displayed a lot of skills in that will stand out. Because I can see that even though you're not present, you are able to have that classroom presence. You are able to still do your assessment. You are able to still have your formative assessment going on and interact with the children. So, and then of course you have already shown that you can use technology perfectly. Because one thing you have to understand, in UK schools, they rely a lot on technology. Okay, there's a lot of reliance on technology. You have the interactive whiteboards in the classroom, you have the laptops, you have the PowerPoint slide, you have the you have to make with every lesson, you have the you need to be very very good with technology to be able to survive and teach in a UK school. So therefore, you've also shown them that you as well are good with technology. So these are all the things that you need to be aware of when you are having an online interview, teaching interview in the UK. Now, it can be applicable to anywhere else in the world, okay? But I'm speaking from my own experience. I'm speaking from my own knowledge of the United Kingdom, especially the area where I live in the United Kingdom. So that is it from me. I don't think I've got any more points, but if you have any more points, and some of you who might have done an online interview and you think that there are one or two things that are missing to pull out from here, please, I would like to know what it is. Put it on the description box below this video, and I will gladly read and incorporate that into another video or something. It's always good to hear other people's experiences, because that's, again, how you learn and gather knowledge as well. Right, that is all from me today. I hope you enjoyed. If you've got any comments, question, please leave that in the description box below, and I will attend to those when I can. All right, have a fantastic week. Bye.